Hello and welcome to Infamous MCP. This is Mutilus or Brandon.
This is Aaron. I go by Treffenwood.
This is Josh. Go by Grumelzog.
And this is CJ. I'm currently going by the same spelling as CJ as I went by last week.
So unoriginal.
It's hard being creative, honestly.
Anyway, welcome back to another episode of Infamous. So this week we have Aaron back from Warfare Weekend. And Aaron, you said you looked at none of the updates since last week?
Just the highlights that were posted in our Discord, like Quentin posted. Just like top level 6 bullets. That's all I saw. I've seen no character changes. I have not delved into what those bullets mean.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, I think I was received as pretty negative on the updates last week. Good. I'm just kidding. I'm not a fan of a lot of the
all
changes.
of you.
Although I think I was not as vocally positive on the changes that I liked. So, because I was so down on the changes I didn't like. But I think a lot of it was, this was just so different than what I was expecting. Like, I was not expecting rule updates. I was expecting more character updates. And hopefully more news about the next coming mission pack. And that's not really what we got. That being said, we're going to jump through these here. So, Aaron, I'll be informing you of the updates, and I want your honest take opinion.
Like I would give you
so
anything
the first, the first one we got here is a change to mission or roster construction and mission creation. So the first change is that you will now use 5 of each mission type instead of 3. Thoughts?
It depends on how missions are selected from those 5. But my initial thought is it is not going to allow you to pigeonhole your strategy, and you're going to have to be a little bit more diverse with how you tackle the meta or the choices that you'll have. So my first instinct is, I think, positive. Like, this is one step towards you just draw 1 at random. Like, you have to be able to deal with anything that gets thrown at you. I think I like that. I need to test it and obviously play around with it, but my initial response is positive.
I think I agree. I would have preferred them to handle this differently, maybe just make less samey missions, but within reason, there's only so much you can do. I think within that concept, it's like, we don't want people just choosing the 3 Ds or the 3 Es or the 3,
Inhumans
Fs.
take the 5 Fs and they choose extracts and they say 4-1-7.
Right. It's a little, different than what I would have done, but it's not a terrible idea on its face.
Mm-hmm.
So moving into the part that impacts gameplay, when setting up a mission, now you will draw 2 missions from your deck instead of 1. And then your opponent will select which of them you use. So if you have your deck of 5 each, choose prio as normal. You'll basically flip the top 2 of your shuffled deck. Your opponent will then pick which of your missions they want to play. And then you'll do the same
I
to them.
choose blues.
Yeah. You'll reveal 2 of your blues.
At random. I don't get to pick them. So 2 of mine are randomly selected from my deck of 5, and then my opponent chooses 1.
Correct. I guess just assuming it's random, I'm going to confirm that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's not. Randomly draw 2 of their crisis cards of that type. Yes.
So I think I'm thumbs up on this as well, right? So this is more in lines of taking away pre-conned strategies of this is what I'm doing round 1, because you have fewer chances to pull that specific crisis setup that you need. Ideally, your 5 should be better suited for your team than the 5 you didn't choose. So any of your 5 that get randomly selected are going to be better than what your opponent could have picked.
Yeah.
Like if they just had their pick of the 10, in theory. So the fact that have to choose 5 and that your opponent gets to pick is further crimping your I'm going to execute this game plan, and is going to force teams to be more all-comers.
Now, I'm going to give us credit for this, because I think we were making a push for changing mission selection pretty hard and pretty vocally. And this is, like, obviously the concept of this is basically pick ban. It's just trimmed down. And so instead of looking at all 3 missions, they're just going to ban 1 of 2. So 1 gets basically banned at random, and then your opponent will then pick what from the remaining. But then they've increased the pool to 5, and so it's obviously different. But I think this is kind of good because we were making a push to get some change happening, and this is good that they've made some change. Now, I think I like the way we were doing it a little more, but there's a specific interaction coming up later that I'll call out when we talk about it. But I'm not sure how I feel about this exact version. I think that there is good room for development here, though.
Okay, so far, thumbs up, though. I'm excited.
Yeah. Now here we go. Now we're going to start digging some holes.
Crazy train approaching.
Yeah. So the next up is no longer will the person who rolls priority get to go first necessarily. So you'll roll 2 priority rolls. The first one is as normal at the very beginning before you do mission selection and deployment. The next roll happens after deployment but before the first activation is taken. You'll just roll priority again to see who actually goes first. So there's a deployment phase of priority and a activation phase priority.
Mm-hmm. Well, I get the feeling you don't like this, but I'm
curious what your thoughts are on Adultery, because you haven't...
Yeah. Until you can convince me otherwise, which might not be too hard. It really seems like they are tripling down on the there are no canned turn 1 plays anymore, because you're not going to get the mission you want, and you're not going to know whether you're going first or second. So you're just going to have to line up not knowing that and see what happens. Like, we don't like Steelers first round. Well, this doesn't completely solve it, but it helps.
Yeah, it's at least a push in the other direction from that, because like you can't guarantee you're not guaranteed you're gonna have the first round. Like, are you willing to bet the game on it?
So we're making the game more fluid and dynamic because we don't know who's going first. I don't see why that's bad.
Josh, did you have thoughts?
I'm trying to remember what I said so I can be consistent when we did this last time. But I've had
cover your bases.
A little bit of beer since then. But I do like this change. I would like to play it to see how I think it's actually affecting things. But the less turn 1 scripts that I have to play against, the happier I am. So
I would imagine what I will call good players don't like this change because they want to be able to form a strategy knowing whether they're going first or second. And so now that they can't know that, it's going to throw their whole turn 1 off. They're like, well, I don't know where I want to put my people anymore. And I think that's a good thing.
I will also say, if I'm trying to think of this from like a 10,000 foot view, like overview it, this will probably, and once again it needs to be tested, in small ways change list building and deployment. Because now that you're no longer guaranteed to like do your thing turn 1, I feel like you need to make sure that you have some options in your pocket for how you're putting your models on the table, where they're going to go, what they're going to do on the first turn. As opposed to before, I move here, do this, I run a script, it's going to be like, okay, well, I need to maybe guess a little more what my opponent's going to do. But that's me trying to be optimistic overview, see how it works.
So there's obviously a lot of things that this could be targeted at fixing or, obviously having repercussions for. I think the one I'm more happy that it directly affects is people who would have plans to build like a certain width of their list based on their opponent to control priority in some way. And so back in the day, it was really common to say, let's say I'm looking at my opponent. I know he has a 5-point leader. There's only so many different combinations of the list he can play at, let's say 17 points to get X wide. And so let's say he's probably going to play 4 wide. If I know that, and we're doing like a pay to flip mission, for example, and it's stronger to go second, I can intentionally build a narrower team than him, or a wider team than him, rather, to force him to keep priority for basically the entire game. And so now that's more difficult to do because with the fact that you might not start with priority, or you don't know who's going to start with it, it's harder to manipulate that on specifically the first turn, if not later turns as well. And so I think it devalues that somewhat. As far as like the scripted turn 0 play stuff, it's like, is it gonna stop someone from taking a safe grabber? I don't see any world in which that's true, because you're just gonna have safe grabbers be more important because you don't know if you're going first or second. And so if, let's say I'm playing CJ, he puts ASM front and center to go pick up a midpoint extract. That just means that I have the choice now of trying to double fake him. Like, well, if I win the high roll, I can steal it from you and invalidate your 5-point safe grabber. And so then we're just going to coin flip who actually gets it. That doesn't change the fact that one of us was advantaged by being able to safely extract the middle point. It just makes it random who gets to, which was already the case. You just now have to deploy not knowing who gets the advantage.
Sure. Let's pretend you're playing Scrolls, and a normal turn 1, let's say I put ASM on my left to grab it and then back up, knowing that if he gets pushed, he's still got the movement to be relatively safe. And then I'm going to threaten them picking up theirs, because maybe they don't have a safe grabber. So I have my turn 1 scripted where I pick up the left, I'm safe with ASM, I punish you with, say, a Wolverine on the right. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, I can't necessarily do that, because if they counter by taking the one on the left where my ASM was, now I have to double move, pick it up with Wolverine. Like, it's going to force me to have to come up with a plan A if I have prio and a plan B if I don't. I don't understand how this is bad. Just like Josh said, less script, mo good.
I guess I'm just not seeing how it changes the situation. Like, if you have one safe grabber on Scrolls, like an ASM,
yeah,
and you have Wolverine on the other side, and they just have models that, I'm assuming they'll also have a safe grabber. Their choice is basically, I put either my safe grabber in front of your Wolverine, forcing you to go get it on like the first activation to prevent me from safe grabbing it, or like, how is it changing the dynamic? Like, can you give me an example of the matchup in which it would noticeably change the like play pattern? Because all I'm seeing is the same thing happens.
So before this change, let's call it ASM on one team and Angela on the other. Again, I don't necessarily think every team always has a safe grabber. I think that's overrated a little bit.
Sure.
But if we assume they do, before ASM would pick one up and they would probably counter deploy with putting Angela across from Wolverine.
Sure.
Right, so that she could grab it and then back up. Now, if they deploy in that same fashion and ASM wins prio, everything's great. If they don't, they're both going to... Then Angela grabs it first and ASM grabs it second. They each have one on different sides. Let's pretend that the person playing Angela wants to deploy Angela across from ASM.
Yes.
And now say one of us is getting this one first, and now we're going to have a scrum around the second one on the right, because I think my models can outduel your models, a.k.a., I think I have the Mystic, and if you want to go take it with Wolverine, I'm going to punish you for it. And or I'm wider than you, and I'll be able to go second, making sure that I can walk forward and hit you with Voodoo instead of grabbing it and letting you attack me. So that's a very different game state that is brought about by the second player's decision on how to counter deploy, not knowing whether the first person is going to have prio or not.
But the first example is just the way it was going to happen without this change. Mm-hmm. The second example is the second player to deploy decides to play chicken and coin flip who's going to have the advantage. That's the difference?
They can choose, yeah.
Right, so I gain the ability to bet a large investment of my roster in a coin flip.
But you're assuming both players are doing that right now.
Well, but if we didn't do that, it's the other way, where it's like we just accept that, all right, he put his safe grabber on this side, I'll put my safe grabber on the other side, and we'll just trade, which is what happens now.
Yes, that's what happens now. And now both players actually have choices on, I think again, less scripted turn 1. You don't know who's going first, you don't know who's going to get which token. Is going to result in different game states. And I have to imagine, so this is my perception, granted I haven't played in a while. Turn 1 was relatively scripted the vast majority of games. Turn 2 was putting pressure on whoever was losing the scenario game. Turn 3 was usually one attack from one team flipping a key point in their favor and either winning the game or being advantaged into round 4. And I think the game's largely concentrated on one key days or victory point flip, usually on turn 2 or turn 3, in a relatively evenly matched game. And so now, with the turn 1s being so wildly unscripted, I don't know. I would be excited to test this and see how it works out.
Yeah.
So I'm not opposed to this change in a theoretical standpoint.
Yeah, it's like a playtest concept. I'm not against it at all. I see that what we have added is the ability for players to have a bad experience of like a negative play situation where it's like, I took 5-point model, my opponent then won prio, and I got punished for taking a 5-point model that's bad in this example. And so if their goal was to de-incentivize you from taking like safe grab type models, I don't know that they succeeded. I just think that they just are kingmakering with people in a similar way that was happening already. It's like if you win prio with the list that's advantaged with prio, you have an advantage. Now that just you roll the priority later, and all this does is force you to deploy in the blind, which is make uninformed decisions. Now, I will admit that I think there are lines of play that open up due to that. The one I don't like is when you're going to get paired with somebody and they just walk right into you and just say, well, if I win prio, I'll be advantaged. It's like, okay, so we're going to set up an hour-long game so that we can coin flip who's going to have a noticeable advantage. I don't want to do that. And so I don't like that as a possible option, but it probably won't happen a lot. I know there are people that will do that.
And then when the 50% chance of you winning priority over them and you winning, it feels pretty good.
I guess, yeah. I don't want the ability for my opponent to just get into chicken with me, basically. And like, none of our decisions are actually important. You put all of the decision-making process into rolling dice, which is the worst part of this game. And that's not what I want to happen. And like, that to me would be taking so much of what this game is and can be away from what it will be. And so I just don't want to have that be the case. But anyway, like I said, I'm willing to accept that I probably I might have a different opinion after playing a bunch of playtest games. The next change up, we have, they have changed the way collision damage is calculated. All throws are effectively now size 2 collisions, regardless of the size of train that is thrown or the size of character that is thrown to do it. So if something collides with you, you simply take 3 damage, which would be, the same as if a size 2 thing had hit you.
Mm-hmm. I am neutral on this change. Obviously, it immediately disincentivizes taking anyone who used to be able to throw large terrain, a la Angela. Like, super disincentivizes a size 4 terrain throw. I think I like the change with respect to characters, because someone like a Bill still has the ability to throw a size 4 person off a point per scenario, and you aren't going to do nearly as much damage, right? 2 points less of damage from that character throw. So you're not going to have your characters ping-pong into each other, which really was kind of a feels bad. Like, I can't stay here, you're just going to pick me up and throw me. That kind of sucked. So it's still important to throw people away and or where you need them. So the character throw is important, yet not quite as big of an MPE. So I like that. I'm sure there's a lot more that will come out through playing, but go ahead.
Adds a bit of consistency. I do think that overall, I need to play this to really see what it does, but
I think it's funny that Aaron pointed out the one Asgardian that actually minds this change the least, because she has the cheapest throw of all the Asgardians. You have a bunch of guys out there that have 3+ cost throws that now only throw for size 2.
So when this originally came out, that was the talk in our Discord of, man, I really hope throws get rewritten, because like the power. I'm not great at math, admittedly, but what I'm paying for what I'm getting is not the same anymore, and I really feel like this would incentivize me to, take people that are paying 2 power for a throw as opposed to 3 power. And that means that my 5 threat models, which in Asgard I've got plenty of, are now not getting the same efficiency. And efficiency is very important for a 5 threat model. So I do think, not to harp on an old wound, this is a stealth webs buff, because I can no longer one-shot Miles with a piece of size 5 terrain. Now, I would assume the math is you're getting 1 damage through maybe on a webs.
the average web character, if they have spider senses, yeah.
So
it does about 1 damage.
With spider senses, yes.
The ability to re-roll block dice, anyone who can dodge dice, is hugely buffed with the the damage capped.
Right.
And so yeah, you can say webs, but that's a little.
They just have the highest concentration of that mechanic.
Sure,
so.
They do. It's really all threat 3 characters get a buff because they're no longer taking a size 4 to the face. Right? You're not going to one-shot Star-Lord. And that's probably good.
Definitely not now.
Not now.
We'll get there.
Okay. I don't at face value hate this change. The devil's in the details though, right? So would need to test it a lot. I really like the fact that your Hulk being ping-ponged into your list isn't just like auto winning your opponent the game now. So that's a huge plus. The rest is a question mark.
I really like that this functionally just fixes Sentinels almost straight up. Like, that was by far their biggest problem, is if you ever lined up against a character that could throw them, it was basically a loss. Like, you'll just start ping-ponging them around. You'll do so much free damage. It's ridiculous. So this helps a lot. I don't hate as a concept just collisions do 3. It's not like fundamentally wrong with the game. The issue I have is that we have 150 models that probably have the ability to throw size 3 or more. And now you've just instantly rebalanced them in a way that they were not designed for originally. And I think the vast majority of those models are already in the older variety, and how many of them now are even further pushed from the competitive models. And so my issue is more that you're not willing to do sweeping updates to fix stuff like this, but then this single change has done more to set the balance of the game back than anything they've done in 2 years.
Is it setting the balance back or just shuffling up the various power level of all of the models in the game? You're going to have new people who are slightly buffed because of this and new people who are slightly nerfed. And by new, I mean old or whatever. Every single model is going to be either...
It's not directly tied to chronological...
Right, I'm just saying every model will have a different power level in this new game that exists. Okay, so we'll play with this meta for 6 months, a year and a half. Figure out who's good, who's bad. Maybe your favorite character just got nerfed and then your butt hurt, or maybe someone's really exciting to play now. Like, I don't think it's viable. Now, what would be great is if they actually went through with a light touch and made every single character perfectly balanced, but we know that's a fucking pipe dream. So the fact that they're just going to like slam their fist on the table, all the models get shooken up and some rise and some fall. Okay, that's no different than how they do their regular character updates. This was just a rules update that touches every character.
I mean, I think the thing that annoys me the most is like what Josh was talking about earlier. Like, Asgardians are probably going to get hit almost the hardest from this. If not, they're definitely up there. And they just got all their cards reprinted. So if we are going to get updates, that's basically a lost cause now. Like, the odds of them getting touched again is, I think, very low. They'll have to be criminally out of the meta for anyone to go back and touch them a third time. What's 2?
They have 2 characters coming.
No, I mean the characters that exist now, not the new ones.
I mean, potentially. I think the only character in Asgard that has anything larger than Angela than the Thors have the big. Well, I guess Bill. It's a reduction in their damage potential, I believe. Right, that's the main issue.
Well, it's also that they're paying a higher power because their effect used to be different, right? They had the highest concentration of size, like 4 throws in one affiliation. Yeah. And their powers were kind of inflated cost because they generate multiple power.
True. And
so their average cost for superpowers are already really high. Then combined with the fact you've devalued their throws, it's just kind of punishing. So now they basically just will end up not throwing anymore unless they absolutely have to.
And again, I think if they have a character throw, I'm not necessarily convinced it's devalued. Any more than a smidge, right?
Mm-hmm.
I still think being able to throw a size 4 character is hugely valuable.
It is valuable. No, I think this is, I don't know even if it's an attempt to, but it feels like the goal of this is to make throws more of board control effects than attacks. It feels like their goal is to move the game into all of my models move your models, and that's how we play the game.
Like I said,
go
ahead. Well,
it's just that they've devalued throwing. Like, on average, I I think the average table now has like 6 less damage worth of terrain on it. And that's with upgrading all the size 1s to effectively size 2s.
I will say that I found it curious when they mentioned that it's like, yeah, because I believe someone asked, like, so you're going to redo throw power? And they're like, no, we're not, because there's still value in displacing buildings for line of sight and
or enemy
like
characters
control.
Size 4.
Yeah. And I understand the thought process behind that, but in a game with superheroes where most people are flying or crawling on walls, or even like just good terrain placement for the game, I don't think that's as valuable as I think it's going to be.
No, that was a corporate speak answer. That was just bullshit.
That was,
yeah.
Yes.
But having said that, the whole change, I'm still like, sure, let's go. Let's see what happens. I'm neutral on this change.
I looked it up. There's only 55 characters with flight, and I know for 3 of them it doesn't matter. Potentially more.
Yeah. There's also a lot of speed shorts that basically don't matter.
That's the one I was talking about.
When's the last time I ever walked up with my Angela to throw a building because, fuck, my guy behind it really needs to see through it? Never.
I've done it a handful of times.
Right?
But I think the last time I did it was Magneto, when Magneto was trying to kill one of, I think it was Zach's people. And it was just like he had like used the ability to place my character, place me out of line of sight of him. So I was just like, fuck you, and I just threw the train at him. But yeah, it's not a common thing. It's very rare. It's definitely the least common reason to break terrain right now, is to gain line of sight. Anyway, I dislike this change, but I don't think it's actually super impactful. I think it is just more of an annoyance. I don't think that throws were like running rampant anywhere. I just don't understand the reason for this change. And then in the Discord channel, somebody said that I guess Schick had been doing a bunch of podcasts and people were complaining about how many times Brace gets played. And so if the actual reason this change happened was to decrease the play rate of Brace, I'm actually very offended. Like, if you're going to make sweeping changes to the game mechanics because you don't like the play rate of a tactics card, that's silly.
No, I think it'd be incredibly crazy if they were like, we're seeing Brace too much. Instead of removing Brace from the game, we're going to nerf throws. That'd be insane.
So why do you think they made the change?
Overall, I don't know. I think, looking at the game, I believe it's to cut down. It was probably it's something they said they're in the process of a year or so fixing.
Wait,
I think it's
to decide to make throws damage 3.
It's they place tested it for a year is what I saw in all of there's a Q&A I read through.
Okay.
And the change was, it didn't say why they did it. I assume it's turn one stuff. And there might be an answer to that on the podcast or something. But I think it's the same thing, because you could walk up with somebody and be like, okay, cool, I'll pass him a power, get him a power somehow, and then throw a building at you for 5 guaranteed damage. Right? And that seems...
Like, that's exactly what Brace is for. Like...
So,
yeah, but like...
I also refuse... Go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's why... Yeah, Brace still works in that regard. I mean... It's just not stopping. You don't have to worry about the KO anymore. Now it's more about situationally. I think it's you play Brace more often now, but like you'd use it quicker. You're not holding it for anything. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, that's definitely true. You don't sit on it, but still, I think the majority of good players are playing Brace when it saves a character from dying, not just because it prevents the most damage.
Yeah, it saves an action. Period. Dot. Whether size 1 or size 4 doesn't matter.
My model with Extract is about to die to throw. Play obvious card to not lose. Like, that is the play pattern. It's not anything else. They're not going, oh no, my lizard might take 3 damage. No one gives a shit. Like, they just want their models to not die so they get to activate them. I don't understand. Go ahead.
Like I said, last time I listened to the Wells on a podcast, they were telling me to play Winter Guard because it was underrated and misunderstood. It's the last time I listened to anything they had to say in a podcast, let's put it that way.
Is that before they added 4 people to the affiliation?
Yes.
Good.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I just don't understand, like, what is the driving force behind this change? Like, I don't think this change makes the game better. I think it causes far more issues than it fixes, even though they might be fairly minor, but for the widespread. I just don't know what we fixed. Like, how is this better for the game? It just seems odd for this to be one of the biggest changes in this update.
We might be I think Aaron's theorem might be correct, where he's just like, this seems like something people. It was an NPE people experienced a little bit, and they wanted to tamp it down some. I don't think they were really worried about the grand ramifications.
So,
for the game. Yeah, thank you.
If I had a tinfoil hat, if I chose to put it on, I think the devs want people rolling dice at each other like superheroes, assuming superheroes roll dice, and the higher amounts of auto damage coming in through characters ping-ponging in large buildings was causing people. You called it's just going to be a positioning game. Well, there was a lot of, I'm just going to auto kill you, right? You're just going to take one defense roll you can do nothing about, and that's it. Whereas I think some of the more cinematic, if you will, moments in the game are me making an important offensive dice roll into your important defensive dice rolls, and then choosing what to do about them if you had rerolls or mods or whatnot. And so by removing a non-insignificant amount of auto damage from the game, they're increasing the damage you need to do through actual attacking.
That's interesting, because I think, from my perspective, the most dynamic things that happen in the game is when Holt picks up a building and throws it at you. Mm-hmm. I think that's one of the more dynamic moments in a game.
Sure. You can picture that happening in, a movie or whatnot.
Sure.
I just think from, the gameplay standpoint, auto damage, I don't want to say sucked, right? But it was stuff you could count on. Everything I'm hearing about this is they want to reduce... they want to increase variability in the game, right? Mm-hmm. No more scripted turn ones. You don't know who's going first. You don't know how much damage they're going to take, because instead of taking up a building and say take 5, you actually have to fucking roll it now. It's all about the variability and increasing that. That's what I'm gathering so far from this update.
They want people to roll more dice at each other, move the objectives closer together.
We haven't got there yet. Maybe I'm wrong here.
Oh, don't worry, we won't.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Next up, there are several small amendments that update wordings. The next noticeable change is AoE attacks and beams no longer automatically damage allies at all. They no longer damage them at all. So you can now beam through your own people without taking damage. As I said last week. Thank God, Thunderwave is finally meta again.
They finally fixed auto damage onto your cap. Yes.
I love that multiple people immediately are like, finally, Thunderwave is fixed. That fucking
only
card.
Took them long
I remember when they were like, there was the rules question was checking, and we're like, if this comes back, yes, I've lost all faith in this game.
That was 4 years ago. You've held on for a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2 thumbs up on this rule.
Yeah, this feels like one of the biggest no-brainers that they've ever been like. You guys should have been this should have been after the playtest document came out.
I don't think this was a problem rule. I think it was thematic. I don't know if it was warranted. I don't think I've ever seen anybody choose to not do it because of their own guy. I think it was one of those I can just get it around them. It's really AoE. Excuse me. It was really AoEs, because Thor doing God of Thunder or whatever it's called is a huge circle, and so damaging all your own people is a lot. But beams are usually so easy to miss your own people anyway.
It seemed like they didn't all. I say all, right? I haven't played in a while, but most / all of the new releases that had AoE attacks had a clause in the attack that said "does not hurt your own people." Like Loki, AoE 3. Yeah. Except not your own. So it seems like they've wanted to go this direction for a while, and they finally just bit the bullet and made it a core rule. The only reason I love it is for Thunderwave. That was just so stupid to begin with. I don't mind the AoE 2 or even 3 or beams hitting your own people, but now you can't kill grunts for whatever bonus that was going to get you. You can no longer cheese it at all, and it's just clean and simple across all characters who have AoEs and beams.
Just to be clear, you can definitely still kill your own grunts. You just can't do it with beams.
Yes.
Overall,
the next.
Hold on.
What'd you got?
I was gonna say overall, I do kind of like this change, just because on the amount of times I've like had to worry about it is pretty small, and I was never one to back away from beaming my own guys to get you. Like, that's fine. That's not going to stop me. But I do think it opens up some play patterns for people, just because now it's like, okay, I don't have to worry about crushing my own guys just because you're in the way. So I think with ease gone, this is a very minimal change, but a decent one.
I think the only reason they honestly did this was to prevent people from exploiting power gain. You technically can take people like Red Guardian and Rhino and just have somebody with a beam and just beam the shit out of your own people to get a bunch of free power. And that allows turn 1 mechanics that normally would not be allowed. Like, you could theoretically stack like 4 power on Rhino on the first turn and then do whatever the fuck you wanted, because, you know, he's got his slide. Now, I don't think people were really doing that, but I think it's just a loophole they decided to close. And also, I think they're happy to get rid of the damage. So I think it's like I think the driving force is probably that, which I agree with. I don't like the super janky weird shit that clearly is not intended to work. They've updated the clause on dazed characters not contributing to scoring. They may not contribute to opposing players to score victory points. What's the exact wording? Priority was updated to give precedent to rules from crisis cards, and character damage was updated so that dazed characters can be used by the opposing player to score victory points. So if there's a mission that says you get a bonus point if all of your models are within 2 of an enemy, the dazed character counts, which I think is good loophole close.
Sure.
They've added a new objective token that is called what's it called? Container?
I believe so.
Source token. There's a new objective type of source for extracts.
Okay.
Actually, it doesn't say extract. It's just a type. Oh, no, a new type of extract token. Okay. With that, we have the newest source card. They've added 1 new extract and secure to the game. I've posted them in the channel if you want to read them, if you hadn't yet.
I have not.
So the first one, the extract, is a 20-point mission called Jailbreak. There are 4 unexhausted cell tokens that are sources. They're placed range 5 from the side and the back edge, so they're exactly cornered in the map. You can interact with 1 cell, and then it basically gains a depleted. You flip it over, it can't be interacted with again. The character that interacted gains a prisoner. If you end your activation completely or to within range 5 of any board edge, and you're not contesting a cell token, you drop the prisoner. So you can't run away with them. And then every turn after you score, you drop the tokens and you flip the cells back over. So there's basically 4 repeatable extractable tokens that you're fighting over throughout the whole game, which I like. Obviously, this is great for, you know, restricting the benefit of stealers, because you can still steal the prisoner. It's just you're stealing it for 1 round and it comes back. I like that concept a lot. It also gives you a reason to hang out near the tokens. The issue I have with the mission is that if you also flip like a D on your secure, there's a lot of ground you have to hold every turn.
So I don't fully understand this. When a character holding a prisoner ends activation, if it's within 5 of a battlefield, not within 1, it drops the prisoner.
Yeah.
Next phase, escape. During the cleanup phase, remove all prisoners from the game and flip each exhausted cell. So does that mean that the prisoner I was holding and got a victory point for goes back to his cell?
Gone. Correct.
So this is in essence just a secure.
It's a secure you have to interact with and then stay alive. Yeah. Because they don't have to get the objective. It's not like a pay to flip. They don't have to overflip you. They just have to kill you to get it from you. They can also steal it.
Sure. You can steal it. You can kill me and it falls on the ground, and then they can pick it up.
Right.
I mean, I could interact with a cell and then double move toward the middle, right?
Right.
And then at the end of my turn, the prisoner goes back to its cell, and I got to go back and get it? Like, so this tells me I just need to bunker hard on one side or both back ones, and I'm just going to farm the fucking cells every time they pop up. I'm going to get it, and then it goes away, and I'll get it again next turn.
Yes, that's how it's supposed to work.
So it's just like a secure.
It's not just like a secure. There are differences, but you do have to continually hold it like a secure. There's also secures you don't have to stand next to. Like it's not exactly like a secure.
So the other
Go ahead.
The thing I'm interested in is there's a lot of like unprecedented situations with this. Like, what happens when you have somebody that can't hold an extract but can interact with them? Do you just turn that one off for the round when I interact with it? It says the first thing is flip the cell over and pick up a prisoner from it. Okay, so I can't pick up the prisoner, so there's no prisoner generated.
You can't,
but I do flip the point over.
You can't interact with it while you're holding a prisoner.
I'm not holding a prisoner. I just can't hold extracts in general.
Who can't hold it? Who can't hold extracts but interact with them?
I believe Wolverine while he's injured.
He can't.
I know there's characters.
If you find a character, I'd be very impressed because I don't think Wolverine can interact with anything.
He cannot interact.
Nope.
While you're looking for that, I will just give my final assessment that I don't like it. I really like the fact that secures tell you where to fight, and the extracts give you a running victory point total you're fighting over. And this basically flips on its head. It's just like fucking Researcher. I don't like my
that's why I like it.
telling me where to fight. Because just like you said, you have a D secure and this for your extract.
Yeah.
You have 5 people all fighting on individual spots.
Yeah.
I don't like both missions telling me where I need to fight.
I don't. That's the only thing I dislike about it.
Okay.
Everything else I do like about it.
Okay. Moving on.
I think it's an interesting new concept that we haven't had before. It's a breath of fresh air in that regard. I think it's a little spread out, like very spread out. I kind of wish it was closer. Like if this was just on sword-based deployment, where it's like the G in the middle, I'd feel a lot better. Yeah. Okay, so the next mission we have Lockdown is 18 points. There are 4 points. They are 5 plus 2 from each side in a square. So they're pushed in about another 3 inches, which is kind of where I think the other one should be. Characters contest the tokens while within range 2 instead of range 1. And then during the cleanup phase, you remove all tokens from the points, and then you roll a die. It's an even chance on each token, and one of them turns off at random every round. And so it's a 4-point mission where there's only going to be 3 of them live past the first turn. And I think the reason it contests at range 2 is because there's characters that physically couldn't get to the other one. And so yeah, it's basically on the first round, because I don't believe it happens on the first round, you will turn one of them off for the following round.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so it's 4 points the first round, 3 points every other turn.
I'm going to say thumbs down.
Do you dislike it?
Reminds me of Shatterpoint. And
it is just Shatterpoint.
This objective is worth 2. And I'm like, well, fuck me, I guess I lose.
Yep. Now, this one at least, it happens in the cleanup phase. You have the whole next round to worry about it. Because I believe in Shatterpoint you score on every turn. And this one you only score at the end of the round.
I don't think you scored every turn in Shatterpoint. But you didn't have, because it was random activations, like there was potentially nothing. You turned over someone who could not get to that. Like you were, depending on the card order, you're just completely screwed. In here, you won't be completely screwed. In Shatterpoint, the victory points are worth a lot more in a per capita, ratio. Here, it's just 1, which you should be able to come back from. So I like the fact that it's going to switch things up, but I don't like the fact that someone is going to be horribly advantaged by this.
I mean, horribly advantaged. It's 1 point because it's not giving an extra point to your opponent. It's just costing you 1, which is impactful, but it's not like they win faster because of it. They'll just gain a lead, right? So it's not the full 180 where it's a lose 1, gain 1.
Yep.
And so I don't hate it.
That's what I was with, not hating, but not liking. And I think that I'm predisposed to hate it, but I wouldn't go there yet.
Yeah. I would say I'm cautiously optimistic on this one. I'm also cautiously optimistic on Jailbreak. I think they both have obvious concerns, but neither of them are enough that I'm going to immediately judge it as I don't like it.
Now,
I'm more excited to play either of these missions than half the missions in the current pack. So
I'm going to take back what I said. I think I'm predisposed to like this, and the only reason why is on how close I think these are going to be to each other.
They're only range 3 apart,
right?
And one you can contest at range 2, so one model could hold both.
So bottom line is, I think you're going to be fighting a lot on this mission, and the one that turns off might just rotate where the fight's going to happen, but it's not like on a different mission where you're going to be spending, because the reason I didn't like it was you're going to be spending your actions moving into them. But if you're already on the inside points of all of these, like you're going to be in the fight. And so moving once and attacking is probably not the end of the world. So because of how this mission is set up, I think I'm going to change my vote, and I think I'm going to view it favorably for now.
If my math is correct, these 4 points on lockdown will be exactly 10 inches apart from center to center.
Which is a range 5?
Which is a range 5.
Yeah, so basically a walk.
For a lot of models, yeah. But contesting at range 2 is a big part of that.
Yeah, okay, you're right. So I could be at 2 from the back one, and I can.
Right.
I'm probably, if a regular small base character is a medium move away from the other one, then I think we're okay.
From closest edge, they're 9 inches apart. You get 3 inches at a range 2, so that means if you were, you
need 3 inches.
You could attack each other. You could attack each other from contesting. If you had 2 medium base people, God, you're basically like 3 inches apart.
Yeah,
while still contesting your respective.
So this is going to be a lot of slapping, and I think I'm okay with that. I just didn't want it to be where one person bricks up and you're spending all your actions coming into them, into their advantage situation. So anyway, TBD.
Yeah, so I am optimistic because I think both of these are interesting design points, and I think they're moving in a good place. The thing I'm most apprehensive about seeing these, because they're so similar, if every mission has this level of complexity, I'm not going to like that. If there's 12 plus missions on each side, and each one of them is truly unique and has all these different rules, it's going to be a lot to remember.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you're forced to play 10 different missions. Okay, moving down, they talk more about the missions, November card update. These missions are live, actively playable at the moment. Now moving into other updates. I've been told by CJ that they've updated these 3 cards, and they're just wording updates. They're not actual changes.
Correct.
So that was the Initiative, Professionals, and Under Your Skin.
Okay.
So moving into character updates, the first one that we have is Cassandra Nova.
Is there any place
Cassandra
I can
Nova
find these
gained
cards?
plus... Do what?
Is there any place I can find
the link is in the channel. Cassandra Nova got +1 hit point on her front side. So she is now 7/7. Okay. Oh, sorry, injured side stamina. So its backside got +1. She's 7/7. Her mind possession advance is no longer the enemy character speed. It's just short.
Okay.
And they've reduced the cost of Flesh Manipulator to 3 from 4. Then they have removed her telekinetic cloak, which was the prevent collision damage, was it?
No, she still has that.
What was the cloak? Oh, they fixed her stealth to be something else. She gains additional power.
Yeah.
She still has fake stealth, but she gets an extra power now. So she no longer is power negative.
Okay.
I assume you like that.
Let's call her one of the more overcosted, understated 5 threats. So bunch of buffs seem fine.
I wasn't a fan that they dropped the move speed short. I thought it was nice to have a truly unique effect. That's the thing she does, and so it's strong enough that justifies her bad stats. Now, with her not having that, I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's probably a good change. Next up, we have one I know you're going to like. Mark 4 Sentinel. Get ready. Physical defense up to 4.
Okay.
Mystic defense down to 3.
Okay.
Healthy side stamina +1 to 8.
Yep.
Plasma blast +1 dice up to 5, but can only pump it by 2 still.
So
it
you
still caps
effectively
at 7.
Capping, okay.
But you're also effectively getting a power every time you shoot it then, because you're not paying for it.
Yeah.
Finally, they've gained Sentinel Program. It now allows you to push your own models. It says enemy.
Okay.
Yeah, your own superpowers work on your people now. They've also added acceptable collateral damage as an innate power. If this character would end its movement or an advance, overlapping interactive terrain feature size 2 or less, it is destroyed before the movement ends. So you get to stompy stomp.
That's thematic. I like that.
It's thematic, and it fixes a huge problem with your whole army being large base. I like this change a lot. It also lets you break all the terrain before they get a chance to throw it at you.
Yeah. Let's go. Thumbs up.
No,
why was it not published like this 2 years ago?
Right?
That's a fantastic question, Aaron.
They also made his plasma leak on the injure side a gainer, so he can actually gain power on the backside now.
Yeah.
Thumbs up? 3 thumbs up?
All they needed to do was listen to the community the week after they released it, and they'd have been fine.
Right. I think everyone would agree Mark IV Sentinel was one of the saddest models in the game.
I still played them in Sentinels, and I thought they were acceptable then.
So we look at this. That's 3 big changes to them, and then like some rearranging of stats, which is nice. Then we also have the friendly collateral damage. You don't have to worry about doing 6 damage to your buddies anymore. That's huge. All right, so now the sad times.
Oh, wait. I'm concerned they're too good. Let's get that on record right now.
Oh, don't worry, because now we're going to do the updates for Sentinel Prime.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I mean, just their play pattern with 8 health on the front side and being able, with Power Matrix, to Plasma Blast for 7.
Yep.
Twice?
Yeah, because you'll have an extra 4 power by the next turn, and then you'll have your gainer up.
And if you...
Or your builder.
Well, so Plasma Blast is a builder, so it will refund itself, and you'll be able to do it twice, right? So...
Well, just assuming
that's not okay.
You're not shooting on the first turn, so you're gonna probably move. I guess you could move and shoot once, but you wouldn't be able to pump it.
But on turn 2, you're going to start with 4 power to Plasma Blast. You're going to regain power. You're going to Plasma Blast, and then Restraint Cables. So, just as a generic play pattern for every turn, being able to pump out 2 7-die attacks, say it's good.
They're noticeably more durable now with the change to throws 1, and then also gaining the extra point of physical 2.
Yep,
that's very good.
So anyway,
and an extra health.
They might be on the push side of 4s. We'll see.
Okay, so following that, we have the sad times. We've got Sentinel Mark IV Prime.
Oof, looks like he lost.
Physical defense up to 4.
Yep.
Mystic defense down to 3. Same. Front side health goes down to 9.
Mm-hmm.
Injured side health down to 7. Mm-hmm. Plasma Blast now strength 6 from 5, and can only spend 2 dice.
Okay. Which is a benefit. Continue.
Suppression protocols. Mark II is up to range 4.
Hell yeah.
But its attack dice are now down to 8.
Oh, what was it before? 9?
9.
Okay.
Power cost also went down to 3.
That's a huge benefit. That's nothing
it is
but
a huge
buff.
Benefit. He also is more power friendly by not having to spend 3 power every time he shoots. And then also Mutant Hunters updated to it also works on KO and days, not just on days.
Okay.
And then finally, pattern analysis limited to once per turn. No infinite rerolls.
Remind me, turn is different than round?
Correct. Per character activation, effectively.
So Plasma Blast Mark II got better. Suppression Protocols Mark II got better. The leadership got better. His health pool is about the same because he got better physical defense while going down a health.
Down 2 health. And Suppression Protocols got cheaper, not better.
I would gladly change 1. The range 4 is amazing. I'll take 1
better.
off of the damage in exchange for an extra range and 1 power cost reduction. That is a better ability.
Sure. It's just the same offense as his Plasma Blast now. It's just higher range with debuffs.
Yeah. And again, I was always double Plasma Blasting for, benefit. So I would Suppression Protocols if I had to. For the reason it was better, but...
now that it's higher range, it actually has a functional difference.
Mm-hmm. So you said this was sad, but I'm not seeing the sad.
I think you'll notice it as a whole. Mainly the not infinite rerolls part. That's I think a pretty big change.
Sure, that's also probably good for the game.
I agree.
So I'm not gonna cry that some broken play patterns it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. It just eliminates the ability to just infinitely high roll people, and now it makes it a little bit more restrained, which is good.
Yeah, I'm 2 thumbs up on this guy.
Yeah. Moving on to next, we have Dormammu, the change we waited 3 years for that we could have had then. But it's a good change. Firstly, I'm just going to get out of the way. They finally fixed his fucking leadership, so you get damaged. You don't get fucking killed in the power phase. Alright, so starting off, we have Shadow Bolt attack triggers are updated to failures instead of wilds, which is nice. First of all, obviously, because he counts skulls and they can't be modded, so they can't make you reroll out of your triggers.
Okay.
But also, we'll get into the rest of it in a second. Flames of the Faldine updated to suffer damage in the cleanup phase.
Yep, got it.
Master of the Realm of Darkness is updated to add failures to his attack roll instead of counting enemy failures. So if your opponent rolls 2 failures, you add 2 failures to your pool instead of counting theirs, therefore triggering all of your triggers.
Got it.
As where before your opponent's dice didn't trigger your triggers.
Your opponent's dice just added damage. Now it's going to add damage and trigger.
Right. They've also removed the block trigger from Incantation of Obliteration. So now it's just crit wild hit skull.
Okay.
Thoughts?
Yes, please.
So my question was, what is the amount of damage you suffer, or what is the amount of power you suffer damage for? Is it still 6?
5.
Okay, so
5
in the cleanup, if you have 5 or more power, wasn't it 5 or more before, or was it 6 or more?
It's always been 5, I believe.
Okay, so that's way better because it hits before power up.
Mm-hmm.
So you effectively can have 2 more power than you used to have, because it happens right before you gain 2 more power due to his leadership anyway. That's way better. 1, you don't daze your character in the power phase, thus losing you the game, and B, you obviously can have more power without exploding, which is great.
Did he always have 12 on the backside?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, let's call this again, I'm on record as hating all characters 6 ret and above. So if we table that gripe, I think we're fine with this.
You say this as the Dormammu player?
I say this as looking at game balance writ large.
Pretty sure if I pull up your Longshank stats, the last game you played was Dormammu.
It might have been.
I think it is. Okay, so out of context, I got very frustrated at the remaining changes. With the context given that I did not have at the time, I feel better about
Haters
it. But
gonna
still,
hate.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Black Widow, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., the 3-point Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
+1 health on both sides.
Whatever.
Yeah. Of all characters I would have picked that needed 2 more health, she was not one of them. But whatever.
Yeah, I'm not going to care one way or the other about small health changes.
Yep. Next up, we have Hawkeye, +1 health on both sides.
Okay, I do care.
He needed it.
Oh!
He needed it.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, he is a range 5 character. The only reason he ever takes damage is because he's forced to contest a point that he doesn't want to contest. So that's more of a scenario problem of him dying than a functional problem of him dying, but anyway. Alright, next up, we have Nick Fury. Would you like to guess?
Health.
+ health on both sides. Again, if I had to pick a character that needed 2 more health, Nick Fury was not one of them.
This one I might disagree with.
Really? You think he needed it?
No, I agree. I'm agreeing with you. I
just
pulled up his card and I was like, 7 health.
Yeah.
On a 4/3/4 for a 4 threat that comes with grunts.
Why is he literally tougher than Venom? I don't know. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay. So I got my first thumbs down.
Hate us because they ain't us.
This is a bad change. Shield grunts. What did they change?
They can pick up all.
Oh,
extracts.
they added the new extract type to its card.
Okay.
Okay. Now here's the one that I've had mixed feelings about. Emma Frost. She actually has a lot of changes. So firstly, her hands-off spender has a trigger has been changed to a wild instead of a crit, right?
Boo. I'm reading it.
Then also, it has been changed to an advance instead of a throw. At the end of the advance, they take a damage. I don't hate
it went
the
from an
change.
omnidirectional throw, right, to a advance away?
I think it was away.
It was a throw.
I can't
it's a
check.
throwaway.
Okay.
I think it was still a throwaway, yeah.
For cost, I do not like it.
Yeah. Next up for her, we have her Diamond Form reactive superpower. Firstly, went to 0 cost, and secondly, triggers on dodges as well as defense rolls.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Finally, she lost the ability to take no damage from collisions.
Oh, so Diamond Form instead. Diamond Form is triple 4s?
No, not anymore.
Oh.
So we're going to move on to the Diamond Form now. She's now 5/5/4.
Oof.
Pretty big change. Power cost of Shatter reduced down to 5 from 6, which is nice. It was kind of prohibitively expensive before. Obviously, the AoE changes from previous, so she no longer has to worry about damaging her allies.
Mm-hmm.
Her ability, sometimes you have to get your hands dirty, changed to, what was it? She can throw characters now?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, she can throw characters
3.
up to size 3.
Medium. Oof.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to be...
We're not done.
Okay, keep going.
She also gained the ability if she starts or is it just if you start?
It does a bunch of different stuff now.
At start of her activation, she can choose to lose all power. If she does, immediately transform into non-Diamond Form Emma. So you have an option to switch back.
Okay, so
if
you can actually switch back now?
Yeah. which admittedly, with the transform range, makes her maximum attack range of 2 goes up to like 7 because she can place then range 4.
How is she placing? Oh,
She
yeah, the transformation.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing 554 as the stat line for a 4 threat.
Yeah. I've recently played a lot of Emma. I don't think she needed this. She probably needed a little help, but they did. I think they did a lot.
I mean, so the problem is hands off was literally the best thing on her card, and that got nerfed.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else, dodging, diamond form on a dodge.
It's a lot of quality of life changes.
And then the ability to throw characters in diamond form, so you weren't just sitting there being like, well, I guess I just attack you twice for 5 dice, which is horrible. So the play pattern used to be you were never in diamond form, right? Like you would rather die in normal form to never have to go to diamond. So this giving you reasons to go to diamond is good. Actually, I might be okay with it because if you go back to normal, you lose all of your power, which just sucks. And then you're throwing 5 dice mystic with no power though. So.
Oh, sorry. We missed a whole new power she has on the front side. They gave her a new ability called Telekinetic Lash. Choose an enemy character within range 3, roll 3 dice. They suffer damage for each damaging result, flat. And then also, if it dealt at least 1 damage, advance them short.
Okay.
Which is really good.
It is. But of course, she can't transform to diamond and then do it because she has no power. So correct. I'm going to give this a qualified thumbs up, but it's not like all the way up yet. We're a little flaccid.
So the interesting play pattern, obviously it needs a little bit lucky dice, not a lot, but if you start in diamond, you can dump all your power, transform, move into range 4 of somebody, double psychic spike, potentially gain 3 power off of your double builders, and then telekinetic lash, and you can move 3 characters with 0 power in 1 turn.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Like I said,
I just think it's a bit much.
Needs to get tested a little bit.
All right, moving on. Next up, we have Professor X. Aaron, do you want to guess?
I'm guessing he gained a health.
He did gain a health on the backside. Then we go to Psylocke, same thing, gained a health on the backside.
Don't care.
And again, my issue is like of all 4-pointers, Psylocke I don't think needed any help. There's plenty of characters that actually need help. And then Star-Lord got +1 hit point on his injured side.
Still don't care.
So he's 6/6 now. Yondu +1 health on both sides, so he's a 7/6, so he's 13 health. Sure.
Only 3 on the physical defenses. Whatever.
Sure. No, he's not super tough, right? Like he's just got health.
I've never played with or against Yondu, so.
Same. I think that's why.
Yep. Who?
Okay.
Yeah. This is probably one of the shortest time periods the model's been out and gotten buffed.
Almost a whole year.
It's like it's been like, has it been that long?
Because
he came out in this.
I took Guardians to Adepticon, and I got about a month and a half of practice in. So.
Okay. Is longer than I thought. Okay. I don't know why Star-Lord just got buffed. So the reasoning I didn't like these changes, because I was like, these are not the characters that need help. And then CJ told me that, I guess somewhere they said that they're going to be updating characters as they rebox them. I looked around, I Googled a bunch of stuff. I still can't find that anywhere. I found somewhere where they vaguely hint at it, but it is not really, that is not what it says. It just kind of implies something similar.
Did you watch the actual stream?
Yeah, I'm assuming that you're being truthful, obviously, and that they are following that. But, like, Star-Lord just got reboxed, 3 months ago, and now they just updated his card, so now that card is worthless?
Again.
Like, the whole point of waiting for the boxes is so that you do it right, and they didn't.
That's his 4th card, technically.
Yeah, because there's the original, then there was the new leadership, and then there was the last update?
Sideways.
The Sideways, that's right, the new box, and now this. So he's had 4 cards. So through the lens of most of these characters are getting reboxed, and that's why they're getting changes, that at least makes sense. If they're just going to go through and do hit point updates on people, I'd rather them just fucking do it now, because maybe that will have the card ready in time for the box to fucking come out. I don't know.
Crazy.
Also, why are you preventing people from playing older models because their boxes haven't been redone yet? Like, not only does Magic, or not Magic, I guess Magic she just got updated, but there's models waiting to get reboxed that desperately need these changes and can't get played, or can't reasonably be played until they get changed. And so, like, making them wait a year and a half because you didn't decide to rebox them, it seems just annoying.
Is that the last change?
That was the last change.
Okay. So I think your reaction stems from dissonance between your expectation and what happened.
I don't disagree with that at all.
Because unless I'm wrong, which is very possible, there was nothing in this update that was like, oh my god, the game's fucked. Like, they screwed it up. Like,
no, I don't think so.
I'm either neutral or positive on most of the changes. Interested to play some games with the new missions and the new throw rules and the new priority rules and see what happens. But I can understand if you were wanting something different and it didn't happen, that could be reason for some personal disappointment.
No, yeah, I think that is 100% what happened. I don't think I was closed about that at all. I don't think the game is in a place that I enjoy right now. I think the play patterns that get played, like you were talking about earlier, it's like the average game nowadays between two people of an even skill level is like one of us will fail a pay to flip or have an inopportune dazed character, and that will decide the game. It's like, I don't find that interesting. I think a lot of the play patterns are incredibly samey and repetitive. I was hoping for something to fix those issues, and none of this stuff, in my opinion, does. The closest thing is the change I like the least, which is the double priority roll. I don't think that fixes anything. And so really what I think I need is a new scenario pack. I think that's really what's killing my love of the game, is that the Crisis 25 pack is, in my opinion, very unfun. I think it's got a lot of bad missions in it. It causes a lot of bad play patterns. And so Josh in the Discord, Muse Josh, was like, well, then we've got Jailbreak, which, limits stealers, which is exactly what I asked for. He's like, so they're giving you what you want. He's like, yeah. But in the same update, they removed my ability to ever play it, because why would the person running 3 stealers pick that mission out of my extracts?
Mm-hmm.
So this card is effectively non-existent.
Ish.
Because they picked a even worse one on the other one, too.
Yeah.
Researcher comes back.
Yeah, like, I think Researcher was incredibly unbalanced the other way, but when you're running, like, Scoundrels, like, you need missions like that to, like, slow it down. By removing all of the low-scoring missions, they just made it score too fast. I thought it scored too fast in the last pack, but it was at least close to where it should be, I thought.
Yeah.
And so then they raised it instead of lowering it, which is...
Well, that's the interesting thing I think about these two missions, is because it's got, like, a weird, like, off-ramp for fast scoring if you need to slow the game down. Like, there's things you could do to, like... I don't know. I'm very interested to see what play patterns open up with these two missions. They're at least interesting, and I think hopefully I
think this is great. Like, if we were to just play these two missions, 18 or 20, maximum 7 points after round 1, I think that's fine. You get 4 points each on round 1, so that way you're removing the potency of priority. Mm-hmm. I think this is all great if you just play these two missions. All of the objectives are centered around each other, so the Aaron's concern from earlier that you'll have to put these models in the middle of nowhere is kind of gone, because the points are close to each other. These two missions might work really, really well together, and I'm actually excited for it, but, like, putting them out now doesn't help me.
I think it's mostly just as, like, a bump until we get to the mission pack.
Yeah, and I'm happy for that. I'm glad that they released these, because this gives me more hope than the rest of the pack combined.
Yeah.
Because, like, hey, you're actually taking a look at how missions work. You're just not going to reprint the same old crap as before. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and they're two whole, like I said before, I think I said this on the last episode. I'm very excited. They're two wholly unique missions.
Yeah.
We'll just get
Watch, they're going to spoil it, and it's the same missions with these two. I will jump off a fucking bridge.
You guys love the Secures disappearing. That's all that happens now. This is Marvel Secure Disappearing Protocol.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty neutral on most of the things here. My frustration is that they didn't do anything that actually makes the game better, is my opinion. I think very little of what they did has any meaningful changes, and the ones that do have meaningful changes, I dislike. I think they went the wrong direction. And so obviously, for me, this pack is bad. But I don't think it's bad for everyone. Colin seems to be having a great time on it, so that's great. I hope people are enjoying it. It's just not what I want. Does anybody have any other thoughts about the updates? Aaron?
Nope.
We've already yelled all of our thoughts.
I mean, you went through it with me. I
do you want to give
thoughts?
I want you to give me a trash scale rating for the whole update.
Ooh, trash scale rating for the whole update is going to be a 4.
Nice.
Ooh, interesting.
To remind our listeners, since I haven't been on in a year, a negative 10 to positive 10 scale.
Yeah.
What do you think I gave it, Aaron?
I think you're going to give it about a negative 4.
Interesting.
Oh.
I gave it a negative 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
See? I'm surprised you rated it so high. I thought you were going to give it a 0.
No, like I said, I was neutral to positive on everything. So,
okay.
Yeah. That sounds fair.
Somewhere between a 0 and an 8 on everything comes out to about a 4.
You didn't sound very positive on the Nick Fury change.
Okay, you're right. So there's 1 or 2 that are in the negative realm. And I know we've said this, years ago. Did the update give us what we wanted? No. Is the game in a better place now because of it? Yes. That's what this seems like. Game is better. Although that's a question mark because some of it is core rule changes, not just the characters, right? And so I think those are better, but proof will be in the pudding. When I stomp CJ's ass with Sin.
You've beat me with her before, so it'd be not something I'm definitely used to.
Just think, the number of people that are holding L's from Sin in the world right now. It's got to be not.
I am part of an elite
You're in an
group.
exclusive club, CJ.
Thanks. Also, exclusive club people who've beaten Aaron, so.
That's true.
Ouch. I mean, hell yeah, that's right. Wait a second.
Wait.
Dude, Zach is my fucking kryptonite. Every time I play Zach, just the heavens open up and lightning hits me in the face. It's just like, no, it doesn't matter how good my matchup is. Like, God just intervenes in my games against Zach.
The worst, Brandon, because you're in that game, is when you're looking into that game, you can see Zach go make eye contact with Zach. Zach looks, he does this.
No, he just does the handshakes like, Brandon's getting fucked.
It was Zach I played with Ant-Man, right? If none of you guys remember it, then it was Zach. Like, I don't know if I can play any more MCP because that game was so epic. I kind of like having that as my last memory.
He killed someone really important, didn't he?
I was dead to rights, and then Ant-Man activates and KOs 4 people.
Yeah.
Just put the game on his shoulders. After it was Zach. I was playing as Wakanda. He just hit his Wakanda turn and obliterated like everyone. And I'm just like, okay, got 1 model left. Let's see what you can do. And he just absolutely went off. It was amazing. So if I want to play another game, it has to match that level of performance.
Oh boy. I seem to remember you were playing a game against Parker, and you had like Thanos Shuri left, and he was down to just Bullseye.
Oh, we're not bringing that up.
He tabled you. He tabled you. Like, single activation dazed both of them, or he killed both of them. It was
I didn't kill both of them. He one-rounded my Thanos with Bullseye, yes. That is a true statement.
Wait, 2-threat Bullseye or 3-threat Bullseye?
2-threat Bullseye.
2. Okay. 2-threat Bullseye
just
activated.
He may have cost 3 points. He was never a 3-pointer.
No, yes,
I think they buffed him and made him a 2-pointer. Like, his stats got better, and he went down the threat. Like, he was
I think he got a better spender and became a 2-pointer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, his spender got way better. I think he lost an attack die on his basic attack, which is whatever. Like,
yeah, it was something crazy.
Alrighty. I feel obligated to do a dad joke now, but I don't think I have one ready.
You don't have one ready?
Damn it. Dude, I've done so many of them, they all bleed together. And you're like, say a dad joke, I'm like, like, my brain is fried. It's just all gone. I think I've done this one before, but I'll just say, it's like, where I'm speaking to somebody who speaks Spanish, I always use the word mucho a lot, because it means a lot to them. No? Nobody likes that one. Okay, I'm getting a lot of head shakes on that one. You asked me to think of a dad joke.
That was a good one, though. I did like that one.
Okay. I can regurgitate a lot of the ones we've done in the past. I hear a lot of them. I just can't remember them. They're all equally stupid, so they just evaporate on my brain. So I did want to give everybody a heads up. We are going to break our long-standing tradition of weekly MCP episodes. We will be doing episodes in the future, I expect. It just won't be on a weekly schedule. So I will obviously make posts about them when we get them out. But keep an eye out.
Twice a week?
We will keep doing them. Not twice a week.
Oh, God.
I do too much shit already. Yeah.
I think that the main idea for that is just kind of switching it over to when news comes out, right?
Yeah, and it might not be directly tied to news. It might just be like, hey, we got enough games in that we have stuff to talk about. Or
have a good tournament
or something.
you know.
Right now, our volume of games is so low that it's hard to keep content fresh. Yeah. I mean, which I imagine people have noticed. Like, we've been really scraping the bottom of the barrel for topics lately. And so, I am very optimistic for the next scenario pack, though. I'm going to definitely give that a try. Aaron, do you know how many of these we've done?
Define these.
MCP episodes. It's pretty easy. It's in the title. 271 episodes is how many MCP episodes we've done. I have been there for 270 of them, and I have edited 272 of them. Yeah, that is a lot of time. So I'm happy that we've been able to get this far. I'm hoping we'll get to 300 soonish, but we'll see. More than likely, the infamous cast will hit 300 first. So, alrighty. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hopefully you had a good time. This has been Brandon.
And Aaron.
And Josh.
And CJ.
And you've just listened to Aaron Hates Minextravaganza.
So what are we going to call this thing?
I got it. Okay. Incredible, new, fantastic, astonishing, mighty, original, uncanny, sensational podcast.
I'm just going to put down infamous.